Namaste. It is said the impossible is often the untried, and we have so many of them amidst us, achievers who have made it to the top. How did they make it happen? We always applaud them and appreciate them with a dream that we also have to make it big to make it to the top. How can we? Is there a way out? Yes, we have such wonderful, meaningful, taking us forward answers on this platform. This is Dr. Kamini Rao's Master Class. You want to make it big? You dream big? You have the answers right here. And to give us answers, to give us the right path, here she is, one of the most acknowledged names in Karnataka, not just in Karnataka, in India, a recognized gynecologist worldwide. She is none other than a motivator and achiever, Padma Shree, Dr. Kamini Rao. Here she is. Hearty welcome to you, Doctor. It's always a pleasure to be with you and to talk to you, because you will definitely see to that you take us forward. And now this is a wonderful, noble, big thought masterclass, Dr. Kamini Rao's masterclass, and the tagline is, why be ordinary when you can be extraordinary? How did this extra happen? I think the dialogue should start with this basic question.
I think, Aparna, the extra is there in all of us, and we have to look within us to find that extra. Many people try, but they look in the wrong direction. So this masterclass is about rediscovering yourself and telling yourself that you can do it. Just do it. And for that, you need a lot of examples. And I would like to say that ordinary and extraordinary, there's that little extra. And this masterclass is going to bring that extra out of every ordinary person.
Yes, you have that extra in this Dr. Kamini Rao's masterclass. And what is that extra? How do we extract that extra? She has answers. Doctor, we are just looking forward to that masterclass series. And how is it framed? And what all you will be offering in this masterclass?
I think first and foremost, I would like to say that this masterclass is for everybody. Anybody who wants to think big, anyone who wants to improve themselves, who wants to be good today, better tomorrow, and best the day after. So this is a continual process. Change is the only constant thing. There is nothing static about it. Continuously think much more than what you can do, and say that the idea that you have and the dreams that you have when you're awake, not when you're sleeping, and if you dream big, you will achieve it. And I would like to take examples in this masterclass of ordinary people who have really struggled hard, and what made them, whether it is passion or whether it was that killer instinct in them, and how did they overcome their fears and tribulations, and how did they reach their goal, and after reaching their goal, how did they actually expand that empire, and how did they bring other people into the fold, and how many people did they bring up in that particular organization. So it's not about only self, it's about teamwork. And how do you bring that teamwork together? So bringing many examples and many masters onto this platform, and giving examples not necessarily about medicine. I know I'm a doctor, but I think these kind of masters are there in every profession. So I would like it to be a spectrum across all professions, so that everyone feels part of this masterclass. There is something to take home with every masterclass. So when we choose people, we're not choosing people who have some kind of a prodigy where they've got extra skills. We are looking at people who have had a normal upbringing, who've only thought big and who have achieved. So therefore, this is to say that you can also think big, and why be ordinary when you can be that extraordinary?
We hit the right point. Please note, achievers from all walks of life. Naturally, doctor, because you are from this field, the first thought is, oh, maybe it's only catering, I mean the show will be catering only to the doctors or to the medicinal world. But you made it very clear, this is for everyone who has that dream to make it big, to make it happen. Question is in the context of a syllabus, if you have one, or an agenda.
I think masterclass does not have a syllabus. Masterclass is of real life experiences. You write a syllabus as you go along. Each one example is a syllabus of its own, and every person will have their curriculum. Everyone will influence you in a different way, and perhaps a person who comes in as an engineer or a technocrat or a bureaucrat will have their own rich experiences, good, bad, ugly, but rich experiences. So do not think that failures are always bad. Failures are rich experiences. So how do you convert failures into stepping stones to success? So if you hear these kind of masters speaking to you, you'll say, okay, I'm not afraid of failing. Most people feel that when you are attempting to do something, and then you'll say, oh my God, I'll have to put so much of money in it. If I put this money in it, if I fail. But even before you start, if you start thinking of failures, then that's a very negative thought. So people around you are also going to echo the same thing. Okay, don't put money. Oh, you fail, then all that savings will go. Then at least you can do a 9-to-5 job. Otherwise, you'll not even get that. So you don't have to be with negative people. The right people, the right place, and the right time. Masterclass is there for you. Dr. Kamini Rao's Masterclass.
Yes, I think the basic step is, as the doctor put it, not to be with people with a lot of negativity or who will bring you down. The very first step is to dream big, think big, and also take a positive step. And we have the golden words from doctor. She says, if it's a failure, just take it as an experience. What a wonderful positive approach towards life. But it's easily said than done. But here, Masterclass will teach you how to make it happen. Doctor, obviously, I think at this point, there will be another question for all those who are watching this. How different is Kamini Rao's Masterclass from other such series or programs or inspiring projects?
I think the question is not about being different. The question is about putting across ordinary people and saying that they achieved a goal. Trying to tell people that you don't have to be extra. You don't have to be extraordinary. And you can actually walk that path. For example, if you take a person who has really done well, our own Prime Minister of the country, for example, Prime Minister Narendra Modi. After all, he was only a chaiwala. He dreamt big, he did well, and now he's ruling our country. He's the Prime Minister of our country. Can you imagine a chaiwala becoming the Prime Minister of our country? So therefore, if he can become, why not you? So the thing here is that we are trying to motivate people, and the viewers that are going to be sitting and watching this program, I'm sure will get motivated by the people that are going to come on to this program and who are going to motivate you. At the end of the show, I will also be taking a lot of points and summarizing that for our viewers and say what made that person click. And those will be the take-home points that should reverberate in your mind even after the program is over. It is this that is going to set in your mind as retention, and you should be thinking about it till the next program. And what happens is when this gets accumulated in your mind and you keep thinking about it, which does not allow you to sleep, that's when the change occurs. And that's what I want it to happen to you. You can't always have godfathers, godmothers everywhere. You must be the first generation that will bring the change. This must be the revolution. This must be the place where you will create leaders. Don't create followers. Create leaders. And to create leaders, you must be a leader. And that's what I want to do with the viewers. I want you to be pioneers, and I want you to do something. And I have felt that when I came back from the UK, I felt that this was lacking. I think there was a sense of mistrust, and people would not teach the youngsters the way. It was a 360-degree teaching that I wanted. It was not like a Kudumi teaching that we had expected. So I would like to do this and make it slightly different, a personality development, an attitudinal change, the fear of entering into something new. I want that to go away. So we will get people from different walks of life who had different challenges and how they overcome the challenges. So many people may actually, see that example that they went through the same thing and they failed, but this person succeeded. So maybe I should try again. So even if you take 2 or 3 attempts, why not? You should be able to do it the 4th time. So do not fear of fail. That's what I would like to say, because it's just that small line that the next attempt could be your success and you would have stopped. So you never know when that turning occurs if you stop too early.
So Dr. Kamini Rao, Padma Shree Dr. Kamini Rao has made it very clear. Attempt is the first positive step, irrespective of results, right? We all, to take the first step itself, it's so, somebody has to motivate, maybe masterclass should motivate us to take the very first step. And how do we do it? She has answers in Dr. Kamini Rao's masterclass. Doctor, I'm sure it was not a cakewalk for you two to make it so big. How did it all happen for you?
Well, because there was no master class, because had there been one, I would have been attending it. And I found that that was a deficiency. Because one, you need to have some kind of mentor and a person to whom you will look up to. Secondly, you would also want to do something different because you don't want to be on a trodden path. I had come with the feeling that I wanted to do obstetrics and gynae because my father had done obstetrics and gynae. But I wanted to do something different rather than to say that my father did, so I did. So instead of saying that I wanted to do something different where I would be known in my own space, so I decided that why can't I do something? Like, for example, can I do ultrasound? Because in those days, ultrasound was hardly heard of in 1980s. And then I thought maybe gynec urology, which is to do with the urinary tract, or say oncology, or infertility, or endocrinology. Then I told myself, if I do any of these things, the best thing to do is to do infertility, because here it is a medico-social problem. I can give a baby. It is women's empowerment. I will be able to not only make the woman happy, it's the family happy, and it brings so much of joy to that community. So why can't I do this? And this is going to be almost a great service to the community, because it was so ostracized in the past that if you did not have a child, it was almost considered worse than AIDS. Then I told myself, I came very excited and I came and told my father. So my father turned around and told me, what is this, Kamini? You are doing infertility in an overpopulated country. Okay. So that was first cold water on my face. I said, Dad, this is an individual problem. It's not a population problem. The person who doesn't have a baby understands what it is not to have a baby. It's not about a population. And then he said, yes, but there is only very few people. And then I said, 10% of the population is infertile, Dad. He said, but only 10%. See, for them, statistics didn't mind, because in those days, they thought deliveries were there all the time, irrespective whether there was any recession or whether there was work to do or joblessness. At least pregnancies, deliveries will be there for generations to come. So then I told myself, no, Dad, I think I have to do something different. I'm going to do this. He says, look, you're taking a wrong decision. I said, no, either I do this or I get back to the UK and I will do that there. And then he said, are you really determined on doing that? I said, yes, I'm going to do this. He says, okay, then fine, I'm not going to come in your way, go ahead and do it. So that was my first challenge, to convince my own father. See, many people will buckle down and say, okay, fair enough, now my father has said no, so let me just follow that path.
Sorry to interrupt, Doctor. You hit the right point with that word. I was determined to make it happen. I think that determination matters a lot. And at this juncture, I need to ask you, what is that which made you so determined, so, if I can say, so stubborn, and yes, this is it, no matter my father says yes, no, whatever it is. What is that?
Well, when I was in the UK, I was in the infertility department, and I saw the number of people that was coming there, and many people from India came there. And one person who came from North India had come in for the test tube baby treatment, and unfortunately she had not conceived even after 2 attempts. So she was crying there, and she didn't understand the language English, so she was more Hindi and Punjabi. And then I asked her what has happened. She said, one, I'm in a foreign country, I don't understand the language, nobody is explaining why it has not occurred, and they only say go through another cycle. So I'm sitting here and you're an Indian, you are sitting and servicing everyone here, you understand my language, why don't you come and service people in India rather than having to service people here? Because it is people like you who should be in India rather than here and helping us. Otherwise, why would we have to come to UK? So then I thought to myself, yeah, she's saying the right thing, I must do it. And within a month of her talking like that to me, I had resigned my job and I said, I am going back and I will be back home and I will do it for my country. And that is how the determination came in. Once I came back, because the challenge was so much, because IVF did not have such a success rate like now. It was a mere 10%. So if you did 10 patients, I would get 1 success. So then I told myself, I must make it better. I must make it better, because this is where your cerebral cortex will work. It's not in the delivery room or something like that. So I said, I must find new things. I must make it better. I must give every person who wants a baby. And infertility should be by choice and not chance. So I relentlessly worked for that. So even though my father told me this, I said, nothing doing. I am going to do this. It's medico-social, it's women's empowerment, there is some science in it, and I will make my name in this. And that's how I took this up. So it was an uphill task. It was not a smooth ride. There was no road. I had to create that road, and then I had to drive on that road. So I feel that it was well worth it. And having looked at that and then seeing that this is what we need to do, then people started saying, what is she doing? What is she doing? And there was so much of curiosity in what I was doing. But nevertheless, I did not get pregnancies easily. It took me almost a year before I could get the first sets of pregnancies which went on to delivery. But that did not deter me. I said nothing doing. I am going to get it and I'm going to do it well. There were more people wanting to see me fail than succeed. And there were more people wanting to tell me that I told you so. Who asked you to go and do this and waste money? I put all my life's earning into that and I said that I'm going to do this. If I fail, it's okay. I fail, but I will not fail because I have put my life earning and I will make it succeed, because that I should come into this. If your mind is in it and you will make it succeed, then it will succeed. But if you say I'll try and put half-hearted efforts, then you won't succeed. So I put that in and I said I have to succeed, and that's how I succeed. So it doesn't matter. I know it was an uphill task at that time in 1989 when I started this, but believe me, everyone was watching and I became one of the pioneers in the assisted reproductive technology. I have never looked back, but with that I have trained so many people, and I don't regret that I went abroad and learned, but others did not have a chance, but I gave them a chance to learn what I learned in the UK. That is what is masterclass.
And today, she's an achiever. She's carved a niche. Doctor, definitely we are so curious to know any instance of failure. If so, how did you face it?
Well, failures are all there at every time. If you have a success, success cannot be a success without a failure. So they come hand in hand. Just as successes give you rich experience and a smile on your face, I think failures also you have to take it with equal determination. In fact, the determination becomes even stronger if you fail, because the learnings from that is to say that I failed, yes, but I'll not make the same mistake. At least you got something eliminated and you can go forward. And I felt that when I had a mistake, at least I had the ability to say, yes, I made a mistake and I'm willing to rectify it, rather than covering it up and trying to be a bravado and say, okay, fine, I didn't make a mistake, it just happened like that, it's all in God's hands, etc. God is there, 99% perspiration, 1% inspiration. So if you're going to think of God to come every time and sit down with you and say that God will do this, God will do this, I think that is wrong. God can only help you at 1% of the time, but 99% must be your effort. You put your effort, there will always be the divine hand that will help you. So go ahead, attempt. So if you have a failure, face it the same way as you face success. And when you are failed, and if you've not been able to succeed with the patient, I always sit with the patient and explain to them the pitfalls and why we have failed. And I am not God. I only treat. God gives you the child. So therefore, when the patients understand, they come back again and get treated. So what we need to do is we have to be very transparent. We have to know our limitations, and we have to be truthful and tell them, this is what I can do, and more importantly, what you can't do. Don't promise the moon to anybody, because the more you promise the moon, the more frustrated, not the patient or not the other person, but you're going to be. So therefore, that is what is my mind. Be upfront, be truthful, be transparent.
And there's one more mantra: catch them young, feel the pulse. So especially the youth power is waiting to make it very big, and fortunately or unfortunately, we have so much of competition today. And especially for them, what does Masterclass offer?
I think, Aparna, this is not catch them young. I think if you're young in the mind, whether you're young, only because your age is less, I don't agree with it. There are people even at the age of 60 who have been dropouts from school and who made it big, and at 60 they've turned around and made billions. So it's never too late to learn. So anytime, my friend, it's never too late. So therefore, my class is not about catching them young, catching them at the right time, the right frame of mind, and to see that they are able to harness whatever they could not do, rather than to say what is the time that has passed by that they didn't do anything. Don't look back, because if you put yourself and turn your head and every time look back, the neck pains. Always look in front, then the neck doesn't pain, because the human body is made that way that your neck should look forward. And that's why don't look back at all the failures. Look at what you can give. Even if you have 1 year's time, see how much of quality you can pump into it. And that is the masterclass, to say bring quality efficiency and effectiveness into that period of time, and you'll see that not only you'll be happy, but also you would have contributed to the community. Today, that's what India needs, and that's what India should get from each one of you.
I think we need to rephrase it as catch them young in heart and mind, and age is just a number. Doctor, if you could just remember a few names, who were or who are your motivators?
I think there were motivators from my profession, but in a limited sense, because what I really want to bring out in masterclass is that it need not be from your profession. Like a person who's an engineering student need not have only engineers to be their mentors or people who have influence. It could be even people like in your daily life, for example. Even, for example, a housemaid can actually be an influencer for you. And I am very clear, I can remember one such incident when I was actually walking in the morning, early morning. I used to see that a young boy used to go and pick flowers from one of the trees. There's lovely pink flowers from the tree. And then it so happened that he used to get quite a lot of flowers which were fresh, and he had a pole. Then after about a week or 10 days, I found that that boy was just sitting there because somebody else had come about half an hour early and picked up all the flowers that were lower down, and his pole would not reach the flowers that was on top. And then I watched him 2 days and 3 days, and then I saw him and I asked him, what's happened? He says, I'm not able to pick up those flowers from the top. But he was determined and he sat there. Then the 4th day, I took a pole and some rope and I told him, give me your pole. I tied this pole to the pole that he had, and I said, now take this pole, go and pick up those flowers on the top. And then he picked up those flowers and he was very happy. I said, now my friend, you can come late and you can still pick up the flowers on the top which are still fresh, and at the same time you can use that extra time to read at home. He was so happy. The story didn't end there. I met him after 25 years, and that boy is doing so well in one of the top IT firms. He is at the vice president level, and he did not forget. He says, that pole story. So, which means that many times you don't know who you will influence, you don't know, and after all it was just a question of a stick. But the fact is, that spurred him on a lot, and he said that really changed my mind, because I was in despair and I was wanting to know how I can get those flowers. I was angry with the other person who had come in early and picked up, and they were bullies. So I didn't know how to get the flowers. So I was just telling myself, it's just that little which will make a change in one's life. And what a change it was. This is what Masterclass should be giving everybody.
Remember, we have a pole, we have a pillar of strength. That is Dr. Kamini Rao's Masterclass. I'm sure all of us are looking forward to this masterclass, and what exactly is going to happen, and probably how would we re-look at ourselves. So what is the concluding line in this context, Doctor?
The concluding line would be change. Change for the better. Change is the only constant thing in life. Do not be static. Think out of the box, and you will see ideas coming in. Don't be static. Keep your ears open. Don't always be talking. Learn to listen as well, because in listening you have more ideas than just talking. That's what I want to say.
So keep watching, keep listening, look around. There's so much to offer and so much to receive. You have a right platform, the right platform to receive so much motivation to make it big, to make it there, high up in skies. This is Masterclass, Dr. Kamini Rao's Masterclass, and we have the mastermind behind this. None other than definitely one and only Padma Shree, Dr. Kamini Rao. Thank you so much. Look forward to Dr. Kamini Rao's masterclass.
Welcome to the first session of Dr. Kamini Rao's masterclass. Our first guest for this session is none other than Dr. Farzan Engineer. Dr. Farzan Engineer.
Thanks for having me on the show.
So from that research,
Publications came out, Dr. Rao.
what do you think was the turnaround time?
It's important to have a strong team,
Because we hear Quintals is the largest, so
transparent with them, and had a very good relationship.
that's something different, and that makes you different.
On the major CROs, and had the possibility to meet him and bring Quintals here.
And the hospital is spick and span.
Trying to create a hospital which is patient-centric.
You can see the gleam in your eyes when you talk about,
Social changes taking place in our country.
and that's where precision comes in, discipline comes in. Farzan, it's not only about technology, but how do you manage,
You're right, attrition rates are high in our country.
real, and then you didn't click.
You could argue it both ways, I think.
Yeah.